We've all been in this position, getting ready to go somewhere and jump in our car or truck and nothing. The car won't start, we can't afford to have it towed to the garage, and even if we could, it could be days before they could start working on it. Those days are gone. With On the Fly Auto Guide, the mechanic comes to you. It doesn't matter, day or night, no job too big or too small. Offering the most advanced mobile diagnostics in our area, there's no guesswork. He could have you up and going in no time. They also offer lockout services. That's On the Fly Auto Guy, 606-620-8189. You can find him on Facebook. Guys, summer's almost over and there's work to be done before winter arrives. Allow our good friends at Willie Gardens to help you out with all your outside weatherization needs. No job too big, too small. They've been helping and serving our area for over a decade. Need a road plowed or maybe your business parking lot? Let them help. Don't get stuck inside during the winter months. Give them a call at 606-344-8790.
Life insurance secures your children's financial future, covering their upbringing, education, and daily needs, even if you're not there to provide. Marriage intertwines finances with shared expenses and debts. Life insurance ensures that if one spouse passes, the other isn't solely burdened by these obligations. A mortgage is often a family's largest debt. Life insurance can pay off the remaining balance, ensuring your loved ones keep their home free of that financial burden.
I've got to get a bigger place.
Hello?
Hello, I've got to get a bigger place. I need to sell mine. Do you have anything?
I can buy your house and I can help you find a new one.
Perfect. When can we meet?
Let's meet right now.
Are you a jerky jerk?
Oh, yeah! Dang it. Hey, let me get a piece.
No can do. This is my last piece of RJ's beef jerky.
RJ's Beef Jerky. Real jerky for real jerky jerks.
You owe me jerky.
Hungry for flavor that's muy delicioso? Come on down to Two Amigos Mexican Restaurant, right in the heart of Barberville, Kentucky. At Two Amigos, you'll always be greeted with fast, friendly service and a smile that feels like family. From sizzling fajitas to cheesy enchiladas and fresh-made guacamole, every bite is packed with authentic Mexican flavor that'll keep you coming back for more. So grab your friends, your family, even your co-workers, and visit Two Amigos Mexican Restaurant, where great taste and good times meet in southeastern Kentucky.
Located at 511 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, Sugar Booger's Custom Cakes has been bringing delicious treats to the Tri-County area for over a decade. Whether it be a cupcake, cookie, cake pop, brownie, or a signature one-of-a-kind custom cake that will be the star of any event, Sugar Boogers has you covered. Easy online ordering with polite, knowledgeable staff guaranteed to make each experience easy and stress-free. Go check them out on Facebook or give them a call for a free estimate. Sugar Boogers Custom Cakes for all occasions, 606-344-6595.
Kick off your boots, come gather round. We're digging up secrets that can't stay down. Bigfoot's out there in the midnight air. Aliens watching from who knows where. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien, CIA. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Oh. electric Cupid is gonna tell you why. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Footsteps in the woods, lights in the sky. Some call it crazy, we just ask why. Laugh if you wanna, but you just might see there's more to the world than they want it to be. No sugarcoating, we're saying it straight. Bigfoot, alien secrets to break. No sugarcoating, the truth on display. Jericho and Paul, bring it your way. Truth or a tale, come and see. We're gonna have some fun, y'all.
In a world where feelings are protected and men have traded big, beautiful beards for man purses and man buns, comes to you a podcast you always wanted and never knew you needed. A podcast where feelings are left at the door and conversations happen unfiltered and no sugarcoating.
On Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you can find No Sugarcoating Podcast. Tonight is going to be a very special one. We have a movie director on here with us tonight. Anything special you want to call out before we bring him on, or is he already on?
Well, Paul looks different tonight. That's what I want to say.
Yeah. Paul's done a facial reconstruction, gained a little bit of weight, not too much, but
I didn't get any weight. I just got a little shorter.
oh yeah, it got a little shorter.
Got a little shorter and compacted. The weight's the same.
And
It's just compacted.
according to you, you became female as well. So.
There was a time, that transition, I didn't know it. How all these people do these transgenders now and all this and that. It was there. People just don't know it, but it was there.
Yeah. So we have Kenny on tonight. I just wanted to call out. We have Kenny from Sinister Hills.
Yes.
Over here. Paul is still with us, but he's on the opposite cam.
I'm kind of on the mend. I got a little bit of a toothache going on tonight. Kenny showed up. I'm like, dude, get in my chair. Be me tonight, and I'll just watch.
Which is perfect, though, because, you are doing your Christmas hunt right now.
Yes.
Had your first one Saturday, and, it wasn't the best turnout. The parade's kind of got in the way and stuff. But there is another one that's coming Saturday. So, everybody, please go to Sinister Hills this coming Saturday and check it out.
What's going on, Big R?
Everything, and you're still... Every sale, right, is going to Operation Save Christmas, and he's got signs lit up everywhere that says Operation Save Christmas, so you'll know you're in the right spot. And this Saturday, I'll be there to try to scare you some. So he's going to put me in there.
Great.
I don't know what we'll do.
We tried to put Jericho in there, and he just wouldn't go.
Well, my kids took my place.
Yeah, but
you had 3 young able bodies. That was great.
yeah, they done good.
Well, except my older one trying to get out every chance he got.
Jericho was scared.
So you want to go ahead and introduce our guest here? And
Yes.
we'll cut it over?
So, without further ado, we have Andrew Wonder on here. He is based out of New York, to my knowledge. He's, a movie director. He's already produced a couple different movies that I was able to look up. But we'll let him have the show for a minute, introduce himself, and move on with it.
I believe the audience can hear you, Andrew. If you can hear us, you can take it away.
Well, hey guys, how's it going?
What is going on, Andrew? You are in New York, right?
Yes, I am in New York right now. I just had a baby, and I appreciate you guys having a lot of patience with me scheduling this. I'm really excited to be here.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
Thank you so much. He just turned 2 months. and I'm a director and cinematographer. My career started when I was 17, working for MTV on a show called Made, traveling the country. I have a career since then of directing commercials, shooting and making feature films. I just shot Paul Schrader's O Canada with Richard Gere, Uma Thurman, and Jacob Elordi, which came out at the beginning of this year. And then The Best You Can starred Kevin Bacon and Keira Sedgwick, which is just now available on video on demand and will be on Netflix on Christmas Day.
Okay, that's pretty good stuff.
That is really good stuff.
That's amazing.
Is there any? So that's really interesting because we've been trying to work on short films ourselves. So how did you get into the business? You want to give us a little bit of your background on that and why the passion? Because myself, I direct. I'm a producer here. We do short films. I do the commercials. It's a passion because it's very much not so much rewarding at first. There's not a lot of pay when you're doing it at first. Everybody doesn't know your work, and you got to prove yourself. And it's. So, how did you? What made you insane enough to want to do this?
You know, for me, I was one of those kids who liked a bunch of things but wasn't great at anything. When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to be. And then I discovered a camera. I got more interested in it, and I had this chance to work for MTV and visit high schools all around the country. That kind of gave me the bug. And then as I entered college, I had to choose between film school and no film at all. So I took the gamble on film school, and once I got a camera in my hands, again, it really felt like getting a paintbrush. I've been very lucky to continue working with it and have it be my professional career, which I can't really use, but at the same time, no, it involves a lot of work, like you're saying, creating films, constantly creating and outputting. I think of it less as passion and more as compulsion. You know, if you have the compulsion to keep doing it and keep outputting it, it does add up.
It does. I mean, that's the same thing with this podcast here, or you know, anything that has to deal with video and publishing it to the world and stuff. You know, this wasn't easy for us, but all of us have the passion and the compulsion to keep it going. And people doesn't realize even something as small as this podcast or as big as something that you're doing, you know, how similar they can be.
Oh, and you know, to think about even to do your podcast, all the other things around it that go on, you know, for every big thing I'm doing, I'm creating something on my own, just with my friends, or something in the backyard, or something just to see if it'll work. And I think that curiosity and that compulsion and that passion, you know, really, you know, it adds up. And I think the big thing I tell people is you have to make it a sustainable part of your life. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. You know, there can be moments that are great and lucrative, but they're not every single one of them. And so whether you're a person who can make a movie every day, every month, once a year, it doesn't matter the quantity, as long as you can find a way to make it, again, sustainable and repeatable, and, you know, whatever scale works for you.
Yeah, that's true. And was there any colleges or schools that you had to attend to be able to get the position you're in?
You know, it's an interesting question. I went to NYU. I got very lucky. It was half the cost when I went a while ago, but I was lucky to go to a film school. When I left college, I wasn't quite sure the impact it had. I see now, years later, that it gave me access to learn film in a formal way, which can be helpful sometimes, and that, you know, it allowed me to be in New York City during those formative years and being on set, which, you know, is pretty important. But I'm not sure anymore. I think it's whatever gets you creating films. I think there's a type of person that does well in the structure of school and does well in that type of institution. And if that's how you learn and you're also learning other stuff, great. If you, my partner is an amazing painter, and she went to school for anthropology, not painting, and she's the best painter I know. And so having a degree can be helpful. I think it's different now, right? Like, would you tell your kids to go to college with the same importance it was put on us?
No, I would. I tell my kids actually to, it does help having a degree, and you can literally go to college and get any degree you want, because 9 out of 10 times the degree that you go to college for is not the career that you end up getting. You know, just having that degree or having a degree in anything will get you in the door at all kinds of businesses.
Yeah, I went to school for criminal justice, and I don't even use it.
Yeah, see? Point proven.
That's cool, though. That's a good curiosity to follow for a couple of years.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that based off of what I've seen locally down here. You know, I know people that have degrees in, you know, all kinds of things, but then the job they're actually working has nothing to do with the degree that they went, you know, 4 or 8 years and got.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of people. There's several people I went to film school with who dropped out throughout film school, and I know many of them who are no longer in the industry since. So I agree with you. You know, whether it's better to go to grad school for something specific, I agree. It's good to be in school. It's good to learn in that way. It's good to follow a passion and see what it adds up to.
Yeah.
But I think, again, when I went to college, there wasn't YouTube. I hate to say it, you know, there's a lot you can learn filmmaking on YouTube. There's a lot I learned in school that's not on YouTube either. So what the value of each, I think we're really going to find out over the next couple of years.
So I've got, what would, like, if somebody wanted to get into this and they felt like quitting, what would be the best advice you would give them to
keep that momentum?
Yeah.
The big thing I see, and I'm also a victim of this in my own life, is you think the next step is what you dream will happen instead of what's in front of you. Like, I direct a lot of commercials. I help a lot of them, the directors, get into it. And they make fake commercials or spec commercials. And everyone makes a Nike one, right? Because everyone wants to make a Nike film. And the truth is, like, everyone at the highest level all the way down to the bottom wants to make a film for Nike. So your competition's really, really fierce. So if you're spending your whole life trying to get a Nike film, you're probably going to get discouraged real quick. But meanwhile, if you look at it and go, I really love soccer. That's what I love. And I love Nike because they tell soccer stories like this. And go on Instagram and find someone else who likes soccer, whether it's an athlete who needs a film or a brand that might need a story, or just go play some soccer with your camera. And so I think when you get discouraged, just make it smaller. You're probably getting discouraged because you're betting too big in that moment, right? Like, sometimes people make their films or their short films. I remember in college, and they'll spend credit cards limits worth of money on their films, or they'll inherit a little money and they'll put it all in. And I try to tell people as much as possible, it's better to make 5 little films than it is to make one big one, because they'll probably all not make money. But if you make 5 of them, you have a library, and imagine what you've learned. So I try to think, just make it small enough, kill what's ever in front of you, as opposed to, you know, letting your dreams take all your money and time away.
Yeah, I know for us, that's the one thing I've told them is never quit learning, right? So you said it, make 5 short films. That was our goal here, is to start doing short films. And I'm like, let's keep them, 8-10 minutes, because every one we do, we're going to learn what not to do the next time, or what works well. But being small production like we are, you know, I've got to do the editing, the producing, and the directing, and the audio, and everything myself. So it does get kind of overwhelming. But I might have missed it. But what was your first aha moment? I made it, kind of thing.
You know, it's funny. I don't think there are any of them where you actually get to make it, and that's what's so funny. Is you always think there's this moment, if I just get the film into a film festival, if I just get it to a distributor, if I just join the union, if I just work on a commercial on a huge project, that you'll feel like you arrived. But it's kind of like a big birthday coming, right? Like you have a moment where you reflect and realize you've come a long way, but it never feels like, oh, I'm suddenly old, or oh, I suddenly made it, or oh, I suddenly figured out life. I think what you say is very true. Like doing it all gives you a certain amount of freedom, right? So you can do whatever you want because you don't have to rely on anyone, but you have to do it at a reasonable pace.
Right.
You know, you have to take care of your family. You have to have a job. You have to subscribe to Netflix. You know,
right.
That's a little bit of a sustainment. And I think the learning and the curiosity and keeping it simple. If it's not fun, you don't learn. It's just like being a kid.
Right.
If it's with your friends, I really try to, even now, whether it's a giant film or something I'm just making, I try to learn one thing. I try to build one thing for every film. I try to treat it like the scientific method and be like, all right, what if we only use wide-angle lenses on this? Or what if everything was lit a certain way? Or what if I talk to the actors this way, not that way?
Right.
And I try to be more methodical, especially as I was learning, so that the learning curve's so steep at the beginning. If you have too many variables you're learning at once, you don't learn anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the hardest part for me was directing the people and then learning how to actually get them to do what I want. Because if I tell them, sneak across this room, you know, they'll do the Snoopy walk, you know, that cartoony look. And I'm like, no, that doesn't look good for the film. That's not what I want. I've learned over the years that I've had to say, walk across this room without making a sound. They walk across, they visualize it in their mind completely different. And learning that talk has been the hardest part about, you know, getting your vision into people's mind. So
Here at the No Sugarcoating Podcast, we like to follow the KISS technique. I call it keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
I think you're saying it really correctly. That at the beginning you think it's just about printing out what's in your head.
Right.
It's like anything. If you think what's in your head better than what's in the world that's in front of you, you just get lost. And learning that language, I'm learning that now writing as I finish my next script. That I used to think writing was about being descriptive and describing what I saw, but it's really about saying what will inspire people to do what you imagine.
Right.
It's what will make them scout the correct location or dress the people the right way. Not necessarily saying it's a red dress.
Right, right. But now when you say you never had that I made it moment, didn't I hear you say you got to work with Richard Gere and Kevin Bacon?
Oh yeah, those are great moments. It's nice to be 1 degree.
Right,
They're great
yeah.
moments, but you know,
He said 1 degree. Hey, because Paul and I just walked out and I said, he just said Kevin Bacon. And I'm like, do you realize now we're like 2 to 3 degrees from Kevin Bacon? We can play that game.
funny, it's part of when they called me for the film, I couldn't resist. I was like, well, you know, what can you do but get in the game, literally.
Oh, yeah.
You know, those, one of the coolest shoots I ever got to do was I got to shoot the space shuttles right before they got dismantled by NASA. I was one of the last camera crews in them. I got to go in the cockpits. I got to see them. And there were some astronauts there.
That's awesome.
And I asked one of the astronauts, he was an astronaut that trained other astronauts, and I was like, what do you tell the astronaut before they go to space? And then he said, always stay with me. He said, I told them not to take photos because the photos don't capture it. It's just a circle in the middle of the sky. And that no matter what, there's a lot of science that's very compressed. And that you just have to take a moment to just look out and really take it in, really feel how far you are, really see the earth, see that detail, really feel it. And I would say it's not really aha moments, but as I grow older and more experienced, I try to look for those moments. To look and go, wow, I have the trust of this movie star. It didn't mean that suddenly every day I'm working with movie stars or every day my life is that much different.
Nobody can hear
I feel like I really got, a moment to look around and go, okay, I'm in another version of this thing I love. Like, what blows my mind is whether you go to make films in high school, make them on your own, go to film school, or work on a union film, is they're all basically the same, except sometimes the food's better on the union films.
Makes sense.
And sometimes movie stars get more stuff.
Right.
But deep down, it's the same. Can we work together? Can we get it done in time? Can we make something that affects people?
Yeah. So I just want to rewind it just for a quick minute. We was talking about inspirations and stuff like that, and I met you at the Comic-Con there in New York. Is that why you go to them Comic-Cons? Is to to kind of see other inspirations or ideas in movies
Network.
and try to network and stuff.
Well, I think it's always good to look around, right? And sometimes it's hard. Like, I've been writing the last few months, it's been hard to absorb too much. I was lucky, my good friend Oliver Ridge, who's a film producer and director and a collector, he was coming to town, and I couldn't resist my curiosity. I hadn't been to Comic-Con in a few years. I love sequential art. Before I make a film, I always read Daredevil Born Again. I think it's perfect. I find visual inspiration in it no matter what I'm making. And so, I feel like you always have to look for things that nourish you. And it's like, I'm sure when you're creating sequential art, you can't just, if you read nothing but comics, you'd be like the AI, you'd just be making derivative comics. So you always have to, I think, look for new perspectives and new ways to, again, create connection, or ways that audience are creating connection.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was curious about. I was curious if you go to them Comic-Cons to, try to get an idea to spark for a movie or something of that nature.
Sometimes, yes. I used to read a lot of the comics because of it. I mean, going to the Comic-Con was really cool just to meet the artists, and it was really nice to see, meeting you guys and meeting the other artists I met with Oliver, how interested you guys are in cinematography and film as I am in the art that's created. And so, I think it's like I've never been an actor who didn't wish they were a musician. I think we all look to each other with a certain aspiration and envy for the way they create. My partner is a painter, and I envy that she gets to be in a room all day and create what's in her head, and she envies that I get to interact with all these people all day. So, but in the end, we're all just creating the same thing, right? Just connection.
Right.
That's all it is, connection and networking. That's the whole part of this. What happened?
Nothing.
Oh, he just shut up.
I agree.
Awkward silence. We don't like that.
So, some of the chat is asking, how many films have you done total?
Well, let's see.
Are any of your short films available, to watch? Because I know some put them on YouTube and some's on Netflix and things.
I'm big on Vimeo, vimeo.com/Andrew Wonder. You can see a lot of my films. Also through my website, wonder.nyc, or Instagram, which is at Andrew Wonder, for the good places to find me. I've directed 3 feature films, 1 narrative that's been distributed, 1 documentary, which was Feral, which was about a homeless woman who lives underground in New York City in the days leading up to a blizzard, which we had a good festival run with and got distributed. I made another film when I was teaching high school in North Carolina with the students. I made a documentary on startups. Short films I've made many throughout the years. I'd be too many to count. Probably my most notable is Undercity, which is available on YouTube and my Vimeo, where I spent a summer exploring New York City underground with Steve Duncan, and we broke into many subway tunnels and climbed many bridges. And it was a great adventure. As a cinematographer, I've shot 3 feature films in the last 2 years. The Richard Gere film on Canada, The Best You Can with Kevin Bacon, and then another film that shall hopefully be out next year. I shot a couple of more years ago. So and also lots of commercials. Like, again, it's, what is it? They say 1 for the meal, 1 for the real. And, I love it. I love being on set. I love shooting, whether it's a short film, a feature, movie stars with my friends. I'm making a film in a couple of weeks. I'm really excited about. Be my first chance to stretch my legs, really, since the baby was born. So, I don't know. You keep finding new perspective, new reasons to create.
Well, what is this new upcoming film? Can you give any spoilers?
I've been writing a feature film about student debt. Talking about college before. One thing I've learned is that I was very lucky. I got to go to NYU. It was expensive when I went, but now it's over twice as much. To go to a school like that is $250,000 a year. But even to go to, I know, right? Even to go to a smaller school can be tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars. I did the math for saving for my son that was just born, and to afford for him to go to NYU, I would have to save $1,500 a month starting now until he was 18.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And at the same time, I meet young people fresh out of school with $160,000 of debt.
Right.
And they have this attitude that there's just this tax that they're going to spend the rest of their life. So it's an issue that means a lot to me, and I think I found a loophole and way out of it, and I've been making a narrative that explores it. So I'm very excited about it. I hope we get to make it next year.
So is this a documentary type, or is this an actual?
No, it would be a feature film. It would be a narrative.
Okay.
And that shows the methodology, and at the same time, I have a new way I want to shoot it that I think will allow a lot of freedom, especially here in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And so, again, I think of all films as an experiment, right? So now that I know what this feature film is, I have an idea of how I want to make it. I want to do some experiments to see how it could work.
Right.
So a few actor friends of mine and this new camera I have, we did a test last night at a pizza place. And now we've been writing a script. And so right before Christmas, while all the decorations are up all over the city, we're going to try to make a short film with it. So before I commit to the whole feature film and make it in a certain way, I have the smaller bite-sized chunk that I can test.
Right.
See if I'm crazy or not.
What pizza joint was you at? Hopefully Two Bros.
Oh no, I do like some Two Bros. I think
The Two Bros is where it's at. That was delicious.
And they because they make so much pizza, it's always fresh.
Yeah, anybody goes to New York, Two Bros is definitely a place to stop at.
We have a lot of good pizza. I do like the Two Bros, but I agree. It used to be $1, now it's $1.50.
It was $1.50 when I was there.
Yeah, it used to be. They were famous when they started for bringing the dollar slice to New York, but now
So is there something that you enjoy writing or directing more than another, like horror films or sci-fi, or it seems like you do a lot of like educational and biography stuff, personal stuff, but is there just a genre that you really enjoy?
I think, starting with MTV when I was young and working in high schools and working with, regular people as opposed to just actors, I fell in love with being immersed in lives. So for me, I really like films that allow me to mix fiction and nonfiction, or non-professional actors with actors. I think our world's really changing right now, and the point of narrative and storytelling is to show people ways they can live in this time. So for me, making films that look at the world now as opposed to just the way movies used to be is what I'm really trying to achieve right now. But I'd love to make a great action film if anyone would ever let me.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. You're welcome to come here to Kentucky and help us shoot some short films.
And I told you
that's what we're about to do, is jump into some action.
And I told you when I was in New York, anytime you need me, buddy, like I would gladly star in a movie with you.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
What kind of action films you guys making?
Whatever you need me to, I'll take.
No, what are we making?
Us? Yeah, us and Gerald.
We're making a couple. The premise of our, the No Sugarcoating podcast is our theme is running aliens, Bigfoot, conspiracy theories, paranormal, those type things. So people come on here and they tell stories about that, because you're not going to get away today without us asking you those questions, whether you believe in them and got any stories. So ours is truth or tale. We'll take those stories and turn them into a visual, right? So our action could be anything from, like, Big R was on here talking about him, a story he had where he was fishing in a
inflatable raft.
In an inflatable raft that got a hole in it in the middle of a strip mine pond. So, those kind of stories we're going to do. And then there's some other different stories that we got. But we can't give a whole lot of spoilers. But you can definitely expect to see Bigfoot and some alien stuff. And we've got comedians that come on here. We've got singers that come on here, and they all tell a different story. So we're trying to get our listeners and our guests involved too in those.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, the secret when you have your prosthetic monster is backlight.
The secret to a prosthetic monster is backlight.
Backlight. Oh yeah.
It always makes them look better.
Yeah. Lighting is it, and audio.
Oh yeah.
Got to sell it in their their imagination is what sells it. So that was, I got so inspired by the short film Lights Off, and
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, the guy created a short film, just him and his wife. His wife acted in it, and that inspired him. That launched him to massive fame, and he got to direct the Annabelle series. He made his Lights Off went famous. So
A good idea is a good idea.
Oh yeah.
You can't buy your way into it.
Yeah, simple. It was simple. It was straight to the point, and it was great directing, I think.
Yeah, I agree with your point.
Well, you had mentioned something though about having non-actors, and I mean I got a room full of non-actors right here that would gladly participate in anything you're doing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Is he right? That'll be fun.
Do you write also, or you just direct?
He had mentioned he wrote, so he wrote this one he's doing. So
I think it's hard to get. It would be. I mean, wouldn't it be a pleasure if you could just make movies all day and not have to write them? It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I think it's hard. And as budget shrinks and the way the films work are different, there's not a lot to go around. And so I find I write a lot. I like co-writing with people as well. I mean, I've had great experience with people writing for me, but I find more and more it's just better to dig in and, you know, figure it out yourself the best you can.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like Justin. You know, Justin, my cousin that draws for Marvel. You know, he draws, but he also inks them. And you know, until he started doing that, I didn't know there was a difference. You know, I thought drawing and inking was the same thing. But no, just like you said, he said, one, it's so much faster if he just goes ahead and inks them himself. And, you know, they're saving money having just one person ink them rather than making him draw it and then someone else ink it. It's amazing once you really start talking to artists in, you know, different lines of duty, how much work there really is to each portion of the job.
No, and you know, how invisible it is the magic, right? And, you know, some people have different process, like in that same way that he draws and inks, you know, I like to direct and act as my own cinematographer as well for that same reason to, you know, even though it might not be as polished, it allows me to be more direct with what I see and what I feel and have less translation. And sometimes I feel like less translation gives you more opportunity to discover and create something unique.
See, that's my big problem is the cinematography. I'm not that visual. I mean, I do some decent shots, and I try to get decent shots, but I need more experience behind that camera. I'm a better director because I've learnt people. Of course, I'm the old guy in the room. I'm 53 now, so I've been around people for a few years. But I've learned enough about people and how to bring out the best in them as far as the character that we're trying to go into. And I love that aspect of it, and I love setting everything up and bringing the vision, but the camera side of it is where I lack that cinematography. But unfortunately, I'm stuck there. So.
Yeah, well, then it's interesting. It's like you have to ask yourself, is it something you want to learn, or is it an area where you need a collaborator? And that becomes the, you know, what I've learned doing these films in a funny way is your style becomes what you don't do as much as what you do. And so you kind of like pick which part of the process. But I think it's really incredible today that if you find a few people whose style you like, you can really learn to shoot anyway through YouTube and color that way, or find a LUT and get a camera and a lens, you know, or shot deck. You know, I'm not a person who loves the references the same way, but sometimes even just pulling frames from the films you like and putting them together in a sequence can really give you a way to start to see that way.
So what's the real thrill for doing this? You know, I know you love, you know, participating, you love directing and all the stuff, but the end result, I mean, is it worth it? You know, once the movie's published or the short film's published and it's out there for the world to see, is the end result worth it?
That's a very interesting question, because I think, especially in film, if you have too much emphasis on the effect of the final product, it's easy to get hurt. For me, the part of the process I enjoy the most is the moment of discovery. I think a film is a kind of past, present, future, right? You're writing the future, you edit the past, and then in that one moment of filming, anything's possible. The lines can be different, they can turn a different way. The sun can hit differently than you expect. And for me, having a new idea, discovering a way I didn't expect is what I really love. And seeing a film that adds up that way. So hopefully there's a catharsis at the end. If you're lucky, people really like it, or a lot of people get to see it. I've had enough that I love so deeply failed completely, and enough I didn't think anything of succeed that I'm not sure I know the difference or how to make one or the other. I just try to make something that feels true and that I feel happy. You know, because the films are like time capsules of your life. They take months or years to work on, and it's like giving your life for that time. So I
Yeah.
try to just make it true to that time in my life and try to make it something that even when I'm picking films to work on, I'm like, do I want this film to be a time capsule of that time or a time capsule of my life?
Okay, well, at the level you're at now, you got years of experience in. You've done some good movies now. What kind of pay scale you at? That's a better question.
Well, the commercials are much better than the films.
Commercials, really? I wouldn't have never imagined that.
Well, you gotta think there's like two types of content, right? There's like publicity content and investment content. Like commercials, they just exist to make something look good or make something desirable. But then the films exist to be sold. It's like the difference between like making a fancy house to be shown and a house to be flipped. And so the movies, they want to flip the movies, so the more they pay you, the less they can flip it for. And so there's a balance. So obviously the bigger the movie, the better it gets. But it's as I come back to movies, it's been pretty surprising to see. What's interesting, and I don't know if this is in all industries or just film, but when I started, the lowest rate, like the PA rate, was like $50, $75 a day. But then, like, if you had a good position, you were making hundreds or maybe $1,000 or so dollars.
A day?
It could be a day on
Wow.
good jobs, yeah. But then what's interesting is now, all these years later, I feel like the bottom positions have gone up, but the higher positions haven't really changed their rate.
Yeah. Well, that's normally how it goes.
And so now it feels like almost everyone's making the same rate. And so it used to be more so, it felt like, at least to me, it felt like there were some jobs paid a lot more and some jobs you did for free and it kind of all came out of the wash.
Yeah.
But now I see with a lot of film people, it's kind of like you're always making minimum wage,
So that stigma, and really, I mean, because that's what I grew up. There's like this stigma that says, that shows directors are, that's where the money's at. If you're a director of a movie, you have the money, and there's even some movies you can watch right now that portray that if he's directing it, it's a good movie and it's going to make big money and all this and that. So, just...
if you have a film with a significant budget, with good founding, and you can get even 5% of it as a director as a fee, you're doing pretty good. But you'd be surprised, even when the films are about $5 million, there's not as much to go around, and so...
I mean, what's that, $50,000? 5%?
So 10% would be
$1 million.
500,000. So
No, my math is off tonight.
So let's just say you got
I know where he went to school.
$250,000 to do it. So you would shoot the movie for a month. You prep it for 6 months. You would probably spend 2 or 3 years of the project, besides the years you spent developing it for free. So even if you could get that much money on the budget, which isn't very likely because you end up putting a lot of that money in the film because it's your opportunity, it doesn't spread as far as the stamina you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Now I think it can for some people, and there's places like commercials and television and other places where your skills can be used like a contractor. But yeah, I would say I think the closest comparison with film production, especially commercials, a lot of these things is home renovation and building homes.
So it's truly the actors make the big dollars and everybody else is just there.
I don't, again, there's some studios who make a big dollar, and if you're making a film for millions and millions of dollars, there's probably a couple of actors making money, and but they might only make, I don't know, like even if you were making low six figures for a couple of weeks of work, you have to be a pretty significant name, and at the same time, you have all these people using your image for them to make money for all these years. But even then, like if you're in a movie with two people being paid all the money, you have plenty of actors being paid much, much less.
Yeah.
And so maybe at some point when there was less supply and less people aspiring to do it, or a more closed net of people, I think it was probably more of an emerging market and some of those stereotypes were more true. But I would say it's like closer to fancy construction. Like, yes, there are some people like architects and certain people working in certain specialties or certain class of things who paid very well, or known very well and famous for it, so they command a certain amount. But a lot of people are just contractors getting by as well.
Right. I'd say the studio makes the biggest chunk. The people that own the equipment and the props and the scenes and hiring everything and doing the contracts and the legals, and there's also the
resources get taken up.
Yeah, they're also doing the promoting and the pushing of it. So
The thing I notice a lot now, labor's gone up in cost, and so more of the budget's taken up by labor, and because of it, the movie can't afford anything. So to pay for the art department, you can't afford art supplies, or to pay for the G&E crew, you can't afford lights. And it's really become this catch-22 with all of it. And I'm curious again where it all goes. I mean, I feel like there are more films, and so I hope there's a world where lots of us get paid more for working on the film, but there's more films, so we're all working, but we'll see if that's too optimistic or not.
Well, I've seen a trend coming lately, though, of a lot of independent directors and filmmakers, pushing it like you on the video things, not just YouTube, but others. I've seen pretty good success with some independent filmmakers that way, that have really, pushed their vision through.
I agree, and I think like anything, it's a full-time job, right? It's not just putting it on YouTube and then you're rich.
Right. If it was that way, we'd been rich. All of us would do it, right? So.
And so you're in this funny thing where you're trading time for views, right? And then you hope to create a little bit of weight with the help of as much as you can.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a 40-hour week.
No, it's not. I mean, everything in this line of business is not a 40-hour week. It's, almost all day thing. However much time you want to put into it, that's how much success you're going to see at the end. Because you're not going to see any hope. Yeah, you're not going to see any success at the beginning. even posting your first video or whatnot, you're not going to have no success. That's when that, passion and stuff comes into play. You got to just keep at it.
And then there could be some like me. We posted a silly video on YouTube, and it went viral. And then we thought, man, we got this. This is so easy. This is back in 2014. And we were like, let's do another video. We'll throw it out there. We'll do YouTube for zero views, and it was better than the first one. That crushed us, right? That killed our spirit. So
I think of it like a paper airplane is making a book. We all start out with a blank sheet of paper. We fold it the best we can. Some people have big wings, some people have flaps. We have all this way. And then you stand there and you throw it. And sometimes you have a great design and the wind gets it and it really soars. And sometimes you have a great design, the wind fights you. And sometimes it wasn't so great. Or you just weren't thinking about it and the wind helps. And so there's so many moments where it's a leap of faith.
Yeah. Well, we got to do a little commercial break right fast, and when we come back, we're going to do the Wheel of Misfortune right here.
Who won the wheel tonight?
I think you did.
I won the wheel.
Yep, I think O'Ronnie won the wheel tonight.
That's not fair because I'm not even looking at the chat because I've got it up there so you can see our guest.
And I've been watching.
I think you're cheating.
No, you.
Leanne voted for you, and she started.
There was a couple people voted for you.
There is 4 people in this room and our guest, and I got picked.
Well, listen, we'll go on a short commercial break, and when we get back, we'll have O'Ronnie spin this wheel.
We've all been in this position, getting ready to go somewhere and jump in our car or truck, and nothing. The car won't start. We can't afford to have it towed to the garage, and even if we could, it could be days before they could start working on it. Those days are gone. With On the Fly Auto Guide, the mechanic comes to you. It doesn't matter, day or night, no job too big or too small. Offering the most advanced mobile diagnostics in our area, there's no guesswork. He could have you up and going in no time. They also offer lockout services. That's On the Fly Auto Guy, 606-620-8189. You can find him on Facebook. Guys, summer's almost over and there's work to be done before winter arrives. Allow our good friends at Willie Gardens to help you out with all your outside weatherization needs. No job too big, too small. They've been helping and serving our area for over a decade. Need a road plowed or maybe your business parking lot? Let them help. Don't get stuck inside during the winter months. Give them a call at 606-344-8790.
Life insurance secures your children's financial future, covering their upbringing, education, and daily needs, even if you're not there to provide. Marriage intertwines finances with shared expenses and debts. Life insurance ensures that if one spouse passes, the other isn't solely burdened by these obligations. A mortgage is often a family's largest debt. Life insurance can pay off the remaining balance, ensuring your loved ones keep their home free of that financial burden.
I've got to get a bigger place.
Hello?
Hello, I've got to get a bigger place. I need to sell mine. Do you have anything?
I can buy your house and I can help you find a new one.
Perfect. When can we meet?
Let's meet right now.
Are you a jerky jerk?
Oh, yeah! Dang it. Hey, let me get a piece.
No can do. This is my last piece of RJ's beef jerky.
RJ's Beef Jerky. Real jerky for real jerky jerks.
You owe me jerky.
Hungry for flavor that's muy delicioso? Come on down to Two Amigos Mexican Restaurant, right in the heart of Barberville, Kentucky. At Two Amigos, you'll always be greeted with fast, friendly service and a smile that feels like family. From sizzling fajitas to cheesy enchiladas and fresh-made guacamole, every bite is packed with authentic Mexican flavor that'll keep you coming back for more. So grab your friends, your family, even your coworkers, and visit Two Amigos Mexican Restaurant, where great taste and good times meet in southeastern Kentucky.
Located at 511 South Main Street, Corbin, Kentucky, Sugar Booger's Custom Cakes has been bringing delicious treats to the Tri-County area for over a decade. Whether it be a cupcake, cookie, cake pop, brownie, or a signature one-of-a-kind custom cake that will be the star of any event, Sugar Boogers has you covered. Easy online ordering with polite, knowledgeable staff guaranteed to make each experience easy and stress-free. Go check them out on Facebook or give them a call for a free estimate. Sugar Boogers Custom Cakes for all occasions, 606-344-6595.
All right. And we're back.
You got something in your mouth.
I was trying to hurry up and swallow it. It was really hard, you know. That commercial asked if we was jerky jerks, and me and him sitting here eating some jerky.
Yeah, and that's one I got to give him a shout out because he did make sure that we were he's stocked up for RJ's beef jerky, and I appreciate that. So I brought him about 16 bags tonight so he could take back. And I'm saying that on the stream because Nicole says you never share.
Well, listen, grab that bag right there and show it to Andrew right here. Maybe he'll get online and order some. But it's RJ's beef jerky. This crap right here is delicious.
Yeah, I don't share.
Yeah, he said he didn't. Nicole says you don't share. So I got to spin the wheel, huh?
Yep. You want me to spin it for you, and you just do what it says, or
somebody rewrote it all?
Yeah, me and Jessica did.
Okay.
What's on there?
Listen, just don't worry.
Wait a minute. No, I don't want you spinning it because you got to wait in it. I'm sure.
You never know what he's got.
No, all we done was we just rewrote the whole thing. Oh, this one is coming loose though.
Right in front of the camera, Ronnie.
I am, man.
Here, hold on.
Spot on in front of it.
Yeah.
Let me tighten that up, because that's not fair.
That's not fair.
All right, now go for it.
He's probably thinking, man, these guys are crazy.
Hey, all right, so Andrew, this is called the Wheel of Misfortune, and whatever this lands on, Ronnie has to do.
I can't see you guys right now.
Okay, I'll get that fixed as soon as we.
But I can't wait to see the results of the wheel.
And he gets to pick.
Oh, awesome. So hold on, as soon as you get over.
Yeah, let me
transition him back over.
I got to get this to where I can, because I can't get him fixed where he can see a camera where we went commercial view.
And see the jerky.
He sees the jerky.
Yeah, he sees.
He pulled out of the bag.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you should be able to see. So the wheel landed on.
The wheel landed on the mystery.
Question.
So what that means, Andrew, is you get to pick what he does the rest of the show.
Well, from the wheel?
Yeah, well I
anything.
mean, it could be from the wheel, or you can just make something up. Just something.
Can I see the wheel for some ideas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I want to hear a story about your ex.
Well, I've been married 26 years. You're trying to make it in now. All right.
Good or bad?
My first wife. We'll go there. I was in the military, and this is what ultimately led to a few things. But
demise.
Yeah.
You know, with Christmas coming up, ho, ho, ho.
So I had a sneaky suspicion, right? So I had my first sergeant draft up a temporary assignment that like we were going, being deployed. And we got orders. So they would print them out and you'd get a bunch of orders because everybody that, all the military, you had to take it to finance, you had to take it over here. So everybody had a bunch of copies. You get a big staple full of them. And I would always lay them on the kitchen table when I got orders and then, start packing my rucksack before I was shipped out. And I knew that would be when she would start planning stuff. Well, I had a buddy that was, he was an LE, which is law enforcement in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force. So he's a law enforcement soldier. And so he wasn't just the SP, the Special Forces, which, or the Special Patrol, which does the gate guard. He was actual law enforcement. I went and stayed at his house. So she dropped me off, where the flight was going. It was the same. They were actually deploying, but I wasn't being deployed with this group. So I walked the line. There's a part where, civilians can't go. So I'd walk it, took my rucksack, threw it over in his cruiser.
Cinematically, this is the part where Ronnie and her kiss, that long kiss before he leaves
Right.
on this deployment.
Yeah. It was all, that's the way it worked. And then stayed at his house, and I just had that sneaky suspicion that she was cheating on me. And see, in the military, it's against the law. Back then, in the 1990s, it was against the law to have affairs like that, especially active military members. My buddy, he wasn't going to let me leave. So I waited for him and his wife to go to sleep, and I snuck out and stole his cruiser. Yeah. And drove back to my place. And sure enough, the car was sitting in the driveway. In
your spot.
In my spot.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I parked the cruiser and put it right there, right behind his car. And then I knew I couldn't go through the front door. I knew that she'd be, watching or have something to let them know. So I walked around, and it was like a quadruplex. The Air Force had really nice base housing. So we had a 4-bedroom. It was 2-story. But it was in a quadruplex. It was 4 units in one building. So it was a pretty good long walk from the parking lot all the way around to the back. Come around to the back, and our bedroom was, second floor in the back of the house. And I see her
butt naked
in the bedroom window. Well, the bed is laying, right there under the bed. So she's not standing.
Right.
So
this is the shadows. Ronnie's seeing shadows in his bed.
She wasn't standing, but them legs were sure up.
my trigger went off. I had them, them old heavy lawn, they're not lawn chairs, but they're patio chairs, right?
Yeah, like in the 90s, they had the 90s at like the beach lounging chairs.
Yeah, it wasn't these. These were like the cast iron, patio chairs with big, heavy tables and stuff. I grabbed that and threw it through our glass door, climbed through that glass door, got cut up. I had blood coming all down me.
Which totally made you look a little bit more badass going through.
I guess it did, because everybody was kind of
sounds like it.
But they heard, and here he comes, buck naked, running down the stairs, and he's trying to get his pants on. And here I take a dive from the kitchen. There's, it's kind of open. The patio doors were into like the dining room, and then the living room was off to the side, and the stairs come down through right there in the middle.
So when you took that dive, you dove just a little too soon, and your face slid right down his crotch.
No. No. I about missed, but I had so much blood on me that, I grabbed his leg and it slid. Not that. So I grabbed a hold of his pants, right? So I was hanging onto his pants. He falls down. He's struggling, kicks out of his pants, yep. Takes off buck naked out the front door, realizes I got his car blocked. So he's running down the street buck naked. My wife at the time comes down the stairs, hobbling down the stairs, screaming at me, sees all the blood on me, figures I killed her boyfriend. She takes off running upstairs. I chase her upstairs. I kick the door in, the bedroom door in. She runs into the bathroom, and we had that glass shower door there too. So I just bulge through it, and I grab a hold of her, and I'm legit thinking, you know, I'm about to do something really stupid, right? And about that time, I hear the clicks of the M16s. My buddy had noticed I was gone, and he called the whole force. He said, "We better go get him before he goes to Leavenworth for the rest of his life." So they would already came in the house and said, "We got that dude running naked, so we knew you were here."
What did they do to him?
Yeah, so they put him in the jail cell, and then my buddy put me in the same jail cell with him that night. And then they went on lunch break.
Well, Ronnie, you got to be eyes to eye with it. Was he even packing?
I had nothing to worry about. No.
You know what the worst part about a story like that is? Is she probably looked at him right before he left and said,
Gave him the most passionate kiss ever.
I love you. Yep.
I love you. Honey, I'll take care of everything. You have nothing to worry about. You just go on and make us proud.
Even at the divorce, she's like, "You don't have to do this." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, babe, I do."
Yeah.
What did you say to him in the jail cell?
Oh, there wasn't much spoken in the jail cell. Not much words.
A little bit of thunder and lightning, though, right, Ronnie?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a. You knew she was married. You're an active duty guy. You know.
So what rank?
That was wrong. He was an E4, I think.
Under you?
Yeah.
Man, I feel like.
Well, thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah. E4s don't get the 4-bedroom houses.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like.
She downgraded.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's probably in a trailer somewhere now.
She said Ronnie was hurting her. She had to downsize.
Okay.
Back to the show.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're back.
Well,
so I mean, we're into that part of the show where everything gets a lot more interesting stuff. I mean, is there any funny stories that has happened to you that you can, tell the audience?
From New York.
Will you guys do paranormal stuff?
Yes, we do a lot of it, and there's actually a few questions we'll be asking you here soon that does involve paranormal and that kind of stuff.
You said that reminded me of, I used to do these commercials in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I've been there.
And,
that was where my story was at, was in New Mexico, by the way.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
Well, in my case in Albuquerque, we stayed at this hotel that ended up being a former children's mental hospital. And we had some haunting incidents. My room always smelled like a gerbil, but I had a lot of crew members who were waking up in the middle of the night, and we kept trying to figure out what was going on. No one would tell us, and we finally asked the cab driver, and he said it was the children's hospital. So that's what made me think of that. I got subway stories. I don't know what you want to hear.
Well, okay, let's lead you into it. Talking about the paranormal and stuff. Do you believe in the paranormal? Do you believe in ghosts and spirits?
Well, he just said he had an experience with it.
But having an experience and believing in it are two different things. Well, we've talked to people that says that they think they've had experiences, but then they're like, but I don't believe in that crap at all.
Right.
So do you believe in the paranormal and ghosts and spirits and demonic demons and all this and that?
paranormal. Do aliens count as paranormal?
Aliens is a totally different topic. Like, this is spiritual. What I'm talking about is strictly spiritual.
I have often wondered, can you believe in spiritual and aliens at the same time?
Tucker Carlson says you can.
Contradict each other.
I mean, there's a lot of people that says you definitely can.
I wonder, like, can you have the devil and aliens? Do the aliens have the same devil?
Oh, wow.
I've never heard that question. That is actually a really interesting question.
Depends on who created them.
Yeah. It depends on who their creator is.
So if spiritual, right, and you believe in one creator, then that one creator would have created them all.
Yeah.
But see, the devil can't create anything. That's his biggest thing. Is that's what made him want to overthrow, God, is the jealousy of not being able to create the way that God does. So,
But even with our image of God, the idea of creating outside of the earth does change. Like, I feel like aliens would be way more shattering to our identities of people and like what we believe in than the paranormal.
right.
I like the spirits. Like, there's definitely like.
So anything not from this earth, like demons and angels, would be considered aliens then, under that theory.
That's an interesting question as well. Wow, I didn't think of that one. That's what I find. I like the concept of the ether. I know Einstein kind of disproved it, but it's old physics theory that there was a space between things.
Right.
That made all molecules and like, I guess kind of like the Force.
Energy type.
And
Everything's made energy, and
so in that way, spirits and the paranormal I believe in, because I believe in there's lots of stuff like that, And like you say, like, are angels and demons aliens is an interesting idea, and so it's hard to how to classify it. I don't know.
well, if I was the devil, I would definitely want to, make people believe that their belief was not real. So, I would have my army and angels, the demons, come as alien form. If you read the scripture says, that even the devil will appear as the angel of light. So,
See, and this is where we get into like any one of these things could be so
deep.
shattering.
Yeah.
Well, and ain't there a lot of haunted places in New York?
Oh yeah. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the underground tunnels where people used to live in New York, and it would be wild. It's all been bulldozed now and turned into Hudson Yards and fancier, like by where Comic Con was in the city.
Yeah.
But we used to go in there and you would find bulldozed shanty towns and little teddy bears and Rubbermaids full of journals and
But did you ever experience anything supernatural? Like, did you ever see any phenomenons or feel anything?
Well, all right, so I would say there are so many times you feel something and you think it's a train coming, but when a train's really coming, you don't know. I mean, what those times are, you see and feel, or I don't know. But no, I can't say that like I got like I was thinking about Ghostbusters. I can't say I got like a ghost blowjob or whatever happened in Ghostbusters.
A ghost blowjob.
Yeah.
It's the best Ghostbusters scene,
Yeah.
It's so wild.
The succubus sewed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you're going to have to come down here. We'll show you some supernatural.
That's cool.
All right, so I take it based off of, what you've already said, you do believe in aliens.
I don't know.
No.
Really, because I'm afraid. I get so afraid we're gonna find out aliens are real, and we're going. I'm getting so. I get so afraid of the existential crisis of people. If there are aliens, I hope we never find out. I think it would be better. Or if it always stayed like on the periphery.
Right. The what ifs.
So you want to believe in it, but you want to keep it a mystery too.
Yes, I think that would be the best thing that could happen.
For human sakes, right?
Yeah.
Humans wouldn't be able to handle it because it would go into, you would have the split, right? There would be 100 million I told you so's, and then there'd be 100 million people just willing to don't believe in anything anymore because their faith is shattered, and they give up.
Textbooks you would need.
Yeah, the
Like I remember the USSR maps as a kid. You know, when the Soviet Union was still down in the old classrooms. Could you imagine the stuff we'd have to replace?
Yeah.
All right, so
And we'd probably have new batteries and stuff and cool stuff too. So maybe it wouldn't be so bad, but
right.
it'd be a real shock.
But now Scripture does say that, you know, the angels, or, you know, the fallen angels gave a lot of technology to man, and that's the reason why the flood came, is because they was doing that. So there's a lot of people believe that they're still doing that, and that's where we got cell phones and all these technologies from now. That's a different whole conspiracy kind of loop.
Have you ever read the Golden Compass books?
I have. Yep.
What do you think of those as someone who knows Scripture?
Well, I mean, they definitely are intriguing, right? And it's kind of inspired, you know, you could tell, but they kind of stretch and do. It's kind of like the Book of Enoch and all of these other, what they're called, agnostic books, or the Dead Sea Scrolls and those type things, right? So they were all elaborated, but like Enoch wasn't written by Enoch, because it was written years after Enoch was even on earth, because Enoch was Noah's uncle, and you know that he couldn't have wrote Enoch after the flood. He was gone. So but now the Book of Enoch does go into it, and I think that's where those books kind of got their inspiration from. You could tell by the way they elaborate on a lot of things.
They're cool. Do you guys know these books?
not as well as he does.
It's like a kid being born to kill God.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, none of it's like a paint by numbers book. I haven't even looked at it.
No. So that's yeah.
The second one is very cool, and then the third one becomes like Angel Air Battle.
Yeah.
It's wild. It's pretty cool. They try to adapt it, but it's always lame.
It's trying to, morph into the epic battle, right? Man versus God type. And that's where Enoch got a lot of its stories from. Or not Enoch got its stories from them. That's where it drew its stories from Enoch, because the angels would come down, train and teach and groom one of their, somebody to take over God.
Where does the Nephilim come in at?
The Nephilim is the fallen angels taking human wives, and then their children, which to me would be something like where you get Greek mythology, where you get Thor would be a fallen angel, and Hercules would be a Nephilim, right? He would be the son of Zeus and a human woman, a fallen angel and a human woman. That's where you would get all those Greek gods kind of mixed in, would be from those.
Like Perseus and...
Yeah, fallen angels.
Yeah.
Because they called themselves gods among men.
I think there used to be giants here.
Well, that's Nephilim.
I mean, because I've been out in Arizona, Nevada.
Speak into the mic, Kenny. You've been on here before.
Well, the mic didn't work the last time.
You was over there.
Yeah, I was over there. But out in Arizona and Mexico and, Nevada, I was out there for a couple months. And, they're just like boulders that we couldn't pick up, but they was as big as a car sitting on top of a car or on top of another boulder and you're like, if they tell us that water has created these channels and stuff, how did that big rock get on top of another big rock on top of another one?
Right.
So I think we just got to see it.
Well, they've found, skeleton bones, leg bones 6 foot tall. So, they found evidence of all that.
Yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, every myth, every story comes from some sort of truth.
Some sort of truth, yeah. Even the Egyptian gods, came from, would be like fallen angels, Ra and all them, and they all kind of mimic. Ra was the closest mimic to Jesus Christ, right? He was born of a virgin, those type things. So, the sun god, right? Ra.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the book of Genesis, the plagues were direct attacks to all those gods. Because each one of those plagues was what one of those gods was supposed to protect them from.
Yeah. I just wish I was a little taller.
Yeah. You're not Nephilim. There's no Nephilim blood in you.
I know. I don't know what it is, but 5'6" is all I had.
Yeah.
Sometimes being tall sucks.
Yeah.
For instance, going through your haunted house. You built it, so you built everything your height.
Don't even start. My walls is 8 to
Now,
10 feet
people
tall.
are saying it's kind of hard to hear you, Andrew. Is there any way you can put your output mic? Because I've got you full blast here.
Whoa, okay. I don't know.
Your mic output.
I don't think it gives me any option.
Maybe in your desktop settings. Boost your mic up a little bit.
Is that any better?
That did sound like it got a little louder.
Yeah, it definitely sounded louder.
Yeah.
All right.
So, one more big question that we ask everybody. What is your opinion about Bigfoot? Sasquatch.
Well, so is Bigfoot and Sasquatch and like Yeti and Abomasum, is it all considered the same thing, or are they considered different guys?
No, they're all the same. They have different names depending on what region they're in. In the Appalachians, it's Bigfoot or Sasquatch, and then you get down in Georgia or whatever, it's the swamp monster, and then up north like that, you got the Yeti, and they're just.
Are they thought to be like related, like a genome, or are they like Godzilla monsters that they're all from different root, like vegetables?
Oh no, that's a really good question. I would say they're probably the same genome, but probably not the same family.
About like a.
But were they all like? Is it
Yeah.
like a tribe?
Yeah, kind of
They
like
got
bears.
separated on
You have black bears, brown bears, polar bears. I think it's kind of similar to that.
It's cool to imagine there was a time where there was just like one tribe of them.
One tribe of big feet.
Right? Like,
Yeah. Big feet. Did you tell him the story about why you believe in Bigfoot?
No, I have not. I've not got to. This is the most I've ever talked to him.
Okay.
He's a very hard man to pin down. But I've had some occasions where I swear I think I like this one right here. I didn't personally see no big hairy man, but this is the only thing I could think that was doing it. But anyway, I was out in the lake late at night fishing with my cousin, and all of a sudden, this big splash hits right beside our boat. And at first, naturally, I thought it was a fish. I was like, oh, crap, man, they're jumping right here by the boat. This is a good spot. Well, we start throwing our lines out, and all of a sudden, happens again. But this time I paid more attention to it, and I'm like, I don't think that was a fish. And then all of a sudden, I heard it coming through the trees. and it was coming from, the top of the mountain, coming straight through the tree limbs, doo, 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 and then it hit the water, and I was like, that ain't no freaking fish. I said, something's throwing rocks at us.
It was Paul.
But these rocks they wouldn't, a rock that me or you or somebody could just pick up and throw that distance.
Yeah.
There's no way on this earth I could throw that big of a rock that far. So my first assumption was, that's a freaking Bigfoot. Oh, out here in the woods, throwing rocks at us. I looked at my cousin. I said, we got to go. I said, I don't give a crap what you do. I said, I'm driving the boat. We're going.
Well, if you used that mating call that you had, I could see why he was throwing rocks at you.
Yeah. I throw a mating call at him. No wonder he's...
Man. That's cool, man.
I figured though you was going to tell them about your the graveyards that you found.
Well, I mean,
and your theory on why no one has found any Bigfoot.
Listen. They like these guys here, Andrew. These guys make fun of me because I'm like really the only true believer of Bigfoot here. But like I know where 5 or 6 graves are right now in the Daniel Boone National Forest, which is a pretty big forest. But they're longer than your typical human, and they're pretty deep in the woods. There's only 2 things I can think that could be. It is either Indians or Bigfoot.
What do you guesstimate the height was?
Well, just based off how long the graves are, I'd say they're probably about 8 foot long, each one of them.
Do you think they were burying themselves?
No, I mean, I've read a lot of articles, and my wife is a huge Bigfoot believer and stuff too. So she watches a lot of podcasts and all this and that. And there's a lot of thought or theory behind, Bigfoot are like people. They do bury their dead. And the ones that don't get buried, squirrels and, these animals, they eat the bones. Squirrels are phenomenal for eating bones. There's all kinds of animals that die all the time. And, me, I'm in the woods a lot. I don't, it is hard to find bones in the woods because squirrels and stuff eat them.
Wild pigs will too.
Yeah. There's all, like, why don't you ever find any bear bones, huh? We got all kinds of black bear around here. Why don't you ever find any black bear bones?
Well, I think black bear bones have been found a lot more than Sasquatch bones.
I have never in my life found bear bones.
I'm sure that we could find some on Google for sure.
Oh yeah, on Google. But I'm talking about like you just because that's one question is always.
I've not ran into a black bear around here.
I have
myself.
I've ran into a bunch of them.
Right. So
over at Sweet Hollow.
He's got them at Sweet Hollow.
But they're new to our area.
They're relatively new. I mean, they've been around for a couple years, but they're just now getting populated enough to where they have an open bear season to hunt them.
Right. Just now getting popular enough to where we would actually start finding some bear remains.
What? Even deer bones. We have an abundance of deer.
But you say squirrels eat them all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We have such an abundance of deer.
I see a lot of deer bones, so I do see
on the highway. That don't count. We're talking about out in the woods.
I have ran across them.
I have ran across some deer bones.
Yeah,
but not as many.
And then like antlers, you find them all the time.
As many
where
deer
they
as we have. Like we are so overpopulated with deer. You would think it would be a pretty common thing to be like, I'm going to go hiking.
I'll give you this though, okay? Because in this area, squirrels are not the only thing that eats bones.
I figured not.
Coyotes, and we have millions of coyotes in this area.
Yeah, we are so overpopulated with coyotes.
And they do scavenge and eat a lot of bones. So I will say that.
There you go. You're just making me look even better every time your mouth opens.
Trying to help you out a little bit.
Anyway, what Andrew? What's
Because
your,
it's a
what's
lot
your
better
theory?
than your squirrel theory. So it's just gonna
No, this is not a squirrel theory. It's a squirrel fact. A theory and a fact are two different things.
Squirrel fact.
So since we've squirreled off
Get
of
a
that
little upset
topic,
with me.
what do you think, Andrew?
It's funny to think there's probably like someone's had barbecued Sasquatch because of the forest fire thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see big feet being cannibals and eating themselves and stuff.
Yeah. Could. Humans done it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they can do it. Yeah.
There's some humans that still do it.
Right. You heard about Jeffrey Dahmer's parents coming over for dinner, and they told him that they didn't like the friends he was hanging out with. He said, "Shut up and eat your salad." Because Jeffrey Dahmer was a cannibal.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, okay. You were a little slow there, Jericho. I just made sure you got it. He was feeding them his friends.
No, not long ago, I read a news article about this. There was this girl had caught this disease from this guy, and see, they went, and I'll tell it from the beginning. This girl went to a nightclub, and met this guy, and all they done was kissed. That's the only thing that they done. Well, the next day, she woke up and she had like this bacteria or disease or something growing all over her mouth. So she went to the hospital. They tested it, and doctor come back and asked her if she's been around anybody that has something. I can't remember the exact disease name, and she's like, "No, I don't know anybody with that." Well, come find out, the only way you can get that disease is by eating dead bodies.
So she'd been eating dead bodies.
No, the guy that kissed her was digging bodies up and eating them.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So he wasn't just necrophilia. He was.
yeah, he was all out, you know.
Oh, wow.
And then he had contracted that bacteria off of these dead bodies, and when he kissed her, she got it, but it had actually grown like a bacteria all over her mouth.
Now,
and
is this a
stuff.
fact story that
Yes.
we can look
No,
up,
yeah,
or-
you can look it up.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, I think it. I really want to say it was somewhere around New York that this happened.
Wow. Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. It's always got to be New York, right?
We have the Chuds here.
It's.
You guys ever see that movie?
I don't think I have.
The Chuds.
Yeah.
We have the
Cannibalistic
Chuds in
Humanoid
Kentucky.
Underground Dweller.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard about it, but I don't think I've
Great
seen it.
film.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up.
Great John Goodman getting killed at a diner by zombies film.
Oh, by zombies.
Yeah. That would be cool. I want to make a zombie movie.
That's another story.
What is zombies?
Zombies.
Zombies, yeah.
What-
Do you believe that zombies are possible?
Let me just say, I feel like we should start burying our dead without teeth. I think that should be just common practice.
Without
No,
teeth?
people don't get buried with teeth anymore.
Right. Take all their teeth out.
Take their teeth out,
Yeah.
Why?
Because of zombies.
Oh, okay.
bro. They won't bite
They
you.
can't bite you
Sorry.
if they ain't got no teeth.
He talked about zombies.
You're slow.
I am slow tonight. He's talking about zombies, and then all of a sudden, take their teeth out, and I'm like, okay, where's this coming from?
Yeah, he went straight sexual. I know, Jared.
No, I didn't go sexual.
That's exactly
I didn't go
what-
sexual. I'm like, well, is it because they can't rot or decay or something? Like, what?
Helmet on them or
Well, teeth don't decay.
I know, but
Right.
chain them up.
that's why I was like, is it because they can't decay or something?
Well, I mean, they eventually will, but they do slow. As long as because we should have got when we had the funeral home directors here, they clean all that. So it's not
I'm just a little slow today. I didn't catch on to
I
that.
haven't seen it here, but I know in some of the northern states, they do put like metal cages over top of the grave sites.
in the northern states.
In New York?
New York.
Cages over the
You
grave
talking about a vault?
No, it's above ground. You can actually see it.
See the cage. I think I have seen that, but I didn't know what that was for. I didn't think
Keep from coming up out of the ground.
Is it?
What are
The
they?
answer is, so could you have zombies and ghosts in the same world?
Could you have zombies, aliens, and ghosts? Is that what you said?
Well, could you have zombies and, I guess, just now zombies, ghosts?
Zombies and ghosts the same world?
Well, yeah.
I think you could.
Back as a zombie, and one makes you come back as a ghost.
Ghost, yeah.
Ghost is
I would.
spiritual and
Yeah, zombie would be soulless, right?
Yeah.
Animated body.
Well, let me just say, we don't know what could happen with all these vaccines we're getting, fellas. Somebody could be passing away. Got one of them vaccines.
I would
Come
lean,
back.
I would lean
Zombie.
more toward the drugs, like the methamphetamines and all these other things, because I've seen like bath salts when they. Anybody remember the story of the Florida man that took bath salts
And went insane. Yeah.
was eating a man's face?
Yeah.
And the cops had to shoot him several times, and he still didn't drop until they shot him in the head. I
That's
mean,
just
that is
because he
pure
had-
zombie movie.
It's
right
just
there.
because he had so much, flowing in him. He's
Right. And I would say if anything done anything to our bodies to reanimate them after you're dead, it would be
bath salts.
Any kind of drugs, really.
you never know what the
Yeah,
government's working.
there's all kinds of chemicals out here that we don't know. It could be. I don't want to get into a vaccination thing on here because we get banned every time we talk about stuff. But I would say there's other things. I know,
yeah.
like one, you look up into the sky at any given point, it looks so much different today, 20 years, than it did 20 years ago.
Mhm.
Like now they call them contrails, the condensation trails that stretch for miles. Well, condensation don't work that way. A true contrail, if you look up at the plane, it'll disappear after a little bit and be gone.
Yeah.
But they're literally striping the sky with something. But
I don't know.
yeah, do you have any conspiracy theories, Andrew? You're listening to all our stuff. This is Kentucky. Welcome to Kentucky. We don't have much to do around here except sit and talk about them.
Man, I don't know if I have any conspiracy theory. I'm pretty open to the world and to seeing where things go.
Yeah,
But
I don't think anybody's out to get us other than ourselves. But now, as far as, zombies and things like that, we're all into all that stuff.
I mean, it's like, I always think it's, not to get too crazy, but I think it's wild that everyone said that COVID was from the lab in China. Everyone got pissed about it, that it ended up being from a lab in China.
Right.
And it never really, and just
Died.
Just like screwed up. Yeah,
Yeah.
just like, so.
No follow-up on it.
It would be cool if there was one group of people actually in charge of everything. But I think the scarier part is probably that there's thousands of idiots each trying their own plan, and they open up the lab wrong, and voila.
Right. Yeah.
They're putting what they're seeding the sky for something else, and then.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's intentionally out to get us. I think if zombies were to happen, it's going to be an oopsie. A big oopsie, because we have so many chemicals, so many nuclear waste, so much stuff that just we have no idea. We have no business even messing with a lot of the stuff we do.
See, I think Frankenstein is a better way to look at it than zombies. Like, to me, Frankenstein is more plausible than a zombie.
That's what I was going to ask him.
Well, I think we're.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, right now you could say with AI and creating copies of people from all their stuff and interview, we're already there, right?
Right.
I mean, possibly. We don't know what machines they've already built and all this and that.
Yeah, he's talking about Frankenstein. So they literally can take, and
I think I might have been
Frankenstein
going the
was
same
taking
direction.
somebody's mind and putting it in a different body, right? And so you can take your consciousness,
Yeah.
and put it into AI, and live virtually forever. Then there's people who have done that.
I mean, that's virtually. I'm talking about realistically. You know, like.
Well,
actual
they can put
human
it in
flesh.
a robot now. Now it's
You know,
it's coming close.
When I'm
to where
talking,
it will
yeah,
be.
but when I'm talking about Frankenstein versus zombies, them, you know, that's physical. You can actually touch them, right? And being dead and coming back alive, the Frankenstein theory relates to me more than just a body popping up out of a grave.
Right.
I'm going to eat your brains.
Well,
You know?
I think that is very close to being plausible with AI.
Especially with Elon Musk and Neuralink.
Yeah, Neuralink and
Yeah.
trying to live forever. And
Have you guys seen this new app? There's an app that you can, let's say you have a grandparent that's
Yeah.
sick or something,
Yep.
that you can record them, and they
AI.
stay on that app and acts like your grandmother. Like you can call
And
that
have
person
conversation with it.
and have conversation. And I say that person. See how weird that is? That AI.
well, that's what I was saying.
Going to give the same
We're
response
real
your
close.
grandmother would, and you can see them and all kinds of crap.
That's what I was.
And it's not going to be long before they figure out how to, with all the technology we have in health, hearts and transplants and doing all that synthetically.
Well, yeah, and that's just what Kenny said. Like all this AI stuff, it's even going to be affecting Andrew's job.
Oh yeah. Well, it could. Yeah, as far as
he's about to say it.
It already is. It's already all over. From post-production, it's in the tools. I mean, you think about it, you're not even sending a text message anymore with AI. That's what completes your words.
Mm-hmm.
It's so deep. I think it's a golden time for us right now because it's like John Henry with the iron spikes, right? Like we're gonna see what humans can do before the technology can get there.
And
And so hopefully we get some time to really create.
before Terminator happened.
Yeah, Skynet happens and we're all wiped out.
When I used to do commercials for some pretty significant research companies, and I would go through research facilities, and they would tell me about stuff, and I'd be like, "Oh, like Skynet, like Terminator,"
Right.
And they'd be excited, And I think we forget that like people are problem solvers, and they see something. It's like logical insanity. Terminator doesn't happen in one step, right? It's a bunch of silly ones.
Right. Everything's done for good reasons until there's an oopsie. That's what I said. There's a lot of stuff we should not be messing with that we do that could turn around and cause an oopsie.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, we're fighting it.
Easier.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
for the guys.
But you know how many
making it
things
easier.
was accidentally created?
Right.
That just turned out to be a sensation?
Yeah. Well, now I think the biggest drive for it is, finding that girlfriend. That's what China's been doing. Yeah, China's been working on it. There's a lot of men out there that in China because the ratio is so low on women.
No more going to the Philippines, guys.
Yeah. They're working on that female relationship, so they're trying to get them robots looking pretty realistic.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, humans was made to, procreate, and you can't procreate with a robot.
Did you see the robot that can actually grow a baby in the womb? It has an artificial womb to where it can literally grow a human baby in it. China came up with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Called the Hot Pocket.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but I know it's out there.
Well, I mean, it's a robot killer tail.
Programmer.
That's crazy. Well, have we sparked or inspired any creativity in you?
I got a watch behind my pillow tonight. We're not going to the woods.
Right.
I like the idea of a squirrel and a Sasquatch fighting over a bone.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a good short
I feel
film.
like there's an AI figure there.
Yeah.
That really could be. Really, that could be a hit thing.
Right.
Especially down here, in our area, because there's so many people that believe in this stuff. I think that would be a hit.
Another idea you got me thinking about is about zombies versus ghosts, and it makes me wonder, what if your soul ghost ran into your own zombie
Body. Yeah, it'd be a good comedy.
And then you just turned into a normal person.
Well, would you be able to get back in?
Right.
Imagine being a ghost stuck next to your zombie body.
Yeah, that would. And then watch it just go and eat your girlfriend before you got back in or something.
Yeah.
How you think?
Well, it's like your brain. It would be. It's like your brain. Remembers a lot of your stuff that you enjoyed doing while you was living, and your zombie body can see your ghostly figure, and then it purposely goes and does things that you enjoyed. So your spirit self is sitting there
aggravated,
aggravated and hatred at your body because it's sitting there eating Two Bros pizza, and all you can do is just sit there and watch.
Yeah, and then that gives me an idea too for the game I'm working on, because I'm working on a survival type game, and I was thinking of the story, and the storyline I had was Remnants of Tomorrow, and it's remnants is remains, right, of tomorrow, and tomorrow ain't happened. So the way it is the world's already ended, or pretty much ended. Apocalyptic events have happened, but it was from all these different portals opening up and things like that with CERN and stuff. And the only ones that survived got sent back in time so they could, prevent it from happening, the remnants. And you have to learn the survival skills. But now that ghost and zombie, because there's going to be zombies and stuff in this game too. So that ghost is, when somebody kills you, you become a ghost. Now I'm thinking, and you have to go watch your body that's just become a zombie.
So he even got an idea from.
Yeah, I got an idea from it. I think I can turn that into a pretty fun game.
Well, hopefully,
Y'all have to collab.
Hopefully we can see a movie be inspired by this.
Yeah. We'll have to work together, Andrew, and get a movie and game release at the same time.
I love it. I'm excited about your guys' film.
Oh, we got a few different ones. Yeah, we got a few different ones that we're trying to work on. It's just doing everything else that we're also doing. See, like right now, we're coming to the end of our show, so it's the best time to talk about it. But we have like this Operation Save Christmas that we're working on. Actually sent you some information about that. But that's going to be December 23rd. We're trying to collect donations. We're about $1,800 away from our target goal right now. So any help that you can do toward that would be phenomenal. Maybe reach out to, Richard Gere or somebody like that. Definitely.
Hook us up with Kevin Bacon is
or even Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, he's got a paranormal TV show that I'm in love with. That Bondsman. It's so funny.
But
Stir of Echoes was so scary.
Yeah.
What?
Stir of Echoes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
I've not seen that. I need to look that up. I don't even know what you're talking about right there. Which that happens quite often. These guys here, they're all much older and wiser than me, and they know things.
Right.
I'm catching on. I'm learning.
But we've got a big live show coming up Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of hands in the fires ourselves. And And I think with winter upon us now, it's kind of slowed the short films down tremendously.
That'll give us time to rewrite, though, because I really need to get down and rewrite the scripts a little bit more, and then.
And we also need a few more props and stuff too.
Yeah,
props and costumes really help.
I think it'll be beginning of the year before we actually start our short films. We will do some test runs and stuff, and shooting these commercials locally help. With learning the process.
Oh yeah, but that's something else we do. We do shoot commercials for local businesses and stuff here.
Yes, man. It all adds up. The more you create, the more you learn. It's like what you guys even have now compared to where you've been.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I say that all the time. Yeah, I mean, you look not even a year ago. It's what's been 9 months. You look 9 months ago till today, there's a huge difference.
Yep. So one final question for me. You said you've just got you a new camera and stuff. So as your own personal equipment to shoot stuff with, what's your go-to choice for what you got?
Oh, I have like a Porsche in my garage. I'm very lucky. I have an ARRI Alexa.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a little red Komodo, too. But honestly, I've had those cameras for a while, and I just think what's crazy now is how good they all are.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Like whether you have a Sony, whether you have a Canon.
Right.
Do you have any? Well, hold on. Do you have any cameras that you don't use no more?
I've gotten rid of most of them in the last few years. I used to have a Canon R8, which was little mirrorless still cameras that I don't use as much.
Right. I use the Canon R. Right.
R.
So yeah,
I was looking at the T6 and T7 earlier. They got
the R is pretty comparable to the T7, so they came out about the same time. The lenses are a little bit more expensive for the R, though. It's a different adapter.
The T? Which one's the T?
The T7s, those were the T2 eyes. Yeah, the T7 eyes and things like that. Those were older.
The R now is cool because you can adapt any lens.
Yeah, I got the adapter for it, so yeah, I can put any adapter on it. I'm still using the old EF.
I was just curious if there's any cameras that you're not using that you can mail to me. That's all I was wanting to know.
I need a good prime 30 mil.
Just rent them to him.
Yeah, because right now I've
EF mount?
Yeah. I need a good 30 mil. Because I've got the 50.
Autofocus or you want manual focus?
No.
Well, the R has pretty good autofocus for like commercials and stuff like that. What we do, because I don't do a whole lot of action in it, but now I do like the ability to be able to switch to manual because I like to pull focus because I've got the DJI, Ronin gimbal. So yeah, so
that 28-2.8 pancake lens that they make for the Canon R is pretty cool.
Which one is it?
They make a 28-2.8. It's small. It's like a pancake.
Okay.
But the autofocus is good. It looks great.
I'll have to check it out.
35-1.8 they make. The cheaper line of Canon lenses are actually really good, I think.
Yeah. I'll have to check them out because I've got the 50 and a 70 and then a 300. And they put me in too close, even at the 50. 50 is a standard.
Yeah, I tried the 28.
Yeah.
Because a 28 and a 50, you're basically covered for almost anything.
Right. So that was my final question, was the equipment wise, and I run my audio separate and then I'll sync it in post, so I like getting good audio.
I just got a set of these Rode Wireless Pros.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been using.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, yep. I like Rode really well. Use them a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's about all I have.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to our viewers before we call it a night? I appreciate you coming on. It was a pleasure to meet you, Andrew.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm grateful to you guys for the patience with me, as my life has completely changed since we've met, and my lovely son was born. But it's been a blessing. I appreciate what you guys are doing, and again, wanting me to be a part of what you're building, and I can't wait to see the films you create. And thank you to your community for listening.
Well, I can't wait to hang out with you again in person, and hopefully next time will be much longer. But
we are planning on coming to New York for the next Comic-Con.
Yeah, Justin wants us
Justin
to come with him next year at that Comic-Con.
So we'll be up there a week. I'll be sure to let you know when we come up. We might try to shoot some little short film while we're there.
Oh, please, I'll have some other pizza places to show you too.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Here's
Stay
the
in
trick.
touch with us.
Here's the trick, though. We'll fly you by.
Deal.
Yeah.
First pizza's on me.
That's a deal right there. But we'll let you go. This truly has been a great show. Everybody, please think about Operation Safe Christmas. Help us any way you can. We've posted a ton of stuff on Facebook and stuff. So be sure to go check that out. And till next time, our podcast Wednesday. So don't forget to tune in on that.
We have the Redneck Brawl, folks, on Wednesday live.
I don't know Andrew, if you've heard about the Redneck Brawl, but that's a pretty big thing that's coming up around here. It's kind of like
Southern MMA.
Yeah, it's like Southern boxing.
Yeah, it's amateur boxing.
It's Southern boxing. Look it up, Redneck Brawl. But about 25 of the fighters.
The 606.
Yeah, the 606 right here where we're from. About 25 of them are coming on our podcast. So that's going to be a wild show, guys, because these guys are wild.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Make the biggest human centipede of boxers ever.
If that's what they're into, I'll record it. But.
Yeah. Hey, if it gets views, we'll do it, right? So.
Oh yeah, and Sinister Hills. Everybody, please go to Sinister Hills. For every head that goes through their haunted forest or haunted house, not forest, they are giving a portion of the proceeds to Operation Save Christmas. So.
Plus, Erebus is going to be there this weekend.
Yeah, Erebus will be there this weekend.
Erebus is going to be there. So everybody locally, please go check out Sinister Hills at the old Sweet Hollow building this coming Saturday. Tell off your friends, family, tell everybody.
Starts at 7, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And then, other than that,
yeah,
that's
enjoy
it.
that baby, because they grow up fast.
Yes, they do.
It's crazy already. He's gone from his newborn cries to his baby's cries in the last couple of days.
Oh, that's worse, ain't it?
So much sweet.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Well.
So I'm happy to have this time with you guys. And now I'm back into the trenches, so I appreciate you all.
Well,
and pizza time soon enough.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait for that. But everybody, peace out. Good night.